I use Perplexity just to kind of clear the air. I'm not using GPT, I'm using Perplexity, which I like a lot better. But
going in and having ChatGPT like every day, like if I lived in, Wilmington, South Carolina, I have mine set up where every day it pulls a list of the real estate news that's relevant in my area.
If you're a team leader or a company owner, everybody sounds good at interviews. Everybody sounds like they're going to do a good thing. But are they really?
Hey, hold on. Before we get back to the episode, make sure you like and follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It means the world to us. And don't forget to turn on that little notification bell so that you get an alert every single time we drop a new episode. If you want to really go hardcore, go binge some of our past episodes, and please leave a 5-star review. All right, back to the episode.
All right, Wayne. So today we're going to be just me and you. A lot of alone time, just some special quality time with you and I. Talking about AI, and I'm not talking about like use it to write descriptions for your listings. Like I brought some ideas that how I use it and how some of my agents are using it. And I know you've got some too. So I think we should kind of go back and forth and like see who's got the coolest AI hack for real estate.
Yeah, see who's got the best ones now that you're prepared and I'm semi-prepared. So this is great. Yeah, no, hit us with your brilliance. I'm ready.
All right, so I'll go first since winners go first. I like it because what I have started doing and teaching my agents is going in and assessing your potential clients. There's so much information online that you can actually go in and say, I'm going to a listing appointment at 123 Main Street. The owners are Jack and Jane, whatever. Give me an assessment on who's the more analytical or what are their potential disc profiles, stuff like that, and things I should know about their property. And it kind of gives me a little synopsis. So imagine if you knew their disc profiles, if you're into that, and you're going to the house knowing who's going to be more empathetic, who's going to be more analytical, and how to have that conversation instead of spending the first 10 minutes of listing appointment trying to figure out who's who and who's doing what. So I think that has been super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best things we're using with it is in the content creation piece, right? So going in and having ChatGPT like every day, like if I lived in, Wilmington, South Carolina, I have mine set up where every day it pulls a list of the real estate news that's relevant in my area and actually writes 3 to 4 video scripts for me. So literally every day I go in, it's got 3 or 4 scripts pulled up, ready to go. And the other thing too is training your AI personality. So you can go in there and you can go to my GPTs and train a video writing script. You can train a article writing script. You can train a, here's how I like to talk on Facebook. Here's how I like to talk on TikTok, right? Whatever it is, and train those personalities. Because what that does is it speeds up so fast when you don't have to go in and start from scratch on who you are and the tone and all that stuff. So that's what we're using a lot.
Yeah, so you created your own GPT to sound like you. So you uploaded video, you did a bunch of your writings. Yep. So that way when you kicks it out, it already sounds like you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We've gone in and we've trained the GPTs because you can go in there, you can put in past things you've written, you can put in past articles, you can put in videos, all this other kind of stuff in there. Plus it already knows you anyway. We put a lot of this, like we have a GPT for writing articles for real producers, which I do all the time. We have one for helping people find their ideal client. We have a whole GPT where somebody can go in there and says, and just starts them off, ask them one question at a time that we've preloaded in there to have them done on that. So it's phenomenal doing market research. All those things are beautiful.
Yeah. So I guess if people want to know more about that, you've got a friend client they can reach out to you and you can maybe connect them because that's a kind of specialized looking thing. I use Perplexity just to kind of clear the air. I'm not using GPT. I'm using Perplexity, which I like a lot better. But another one I came up with, and I was messing with it earlier. If you're an agent or team leader, if you're a team leader or a company owner, everybody sounds good at interviews. Everybody sounds like they're going to do a good thing. But are they really? So what I did is we've been giving assessments to our agents for years. So I just took their assessments, which is strength finders, locus of control. I put in their name. I put in their Enneagram because I happen to know, I did myself actually. And I said, tell me how to encourage somebody like this. Tell me what kind of team player they're going to be. Tell me what you think their disc profile will be based off this information. And the stuff it comes back with is really intriguing and a great synopsis. And I also put in there, how can I lead somebody like this? Now, unfortunately, I did myself and it was like, that guy's fucked. You can't work with him. Don't hire him. But I think it's helpful. I really do. So I think it can give you some insight of not just having data, but breaking it down to a way that maybe you understand a little bit better and see if that person's gonna be a good personality fit with you.
Well, and the cool thing is, you can have a whole thread or a project just for that person. So it's like, let's say you did the call on Zoom with them, and you can literally take those Zoom notes, throw it into that thread on that person. Go like, hey, here's our notes from this thing. What, list out the key action items that we agreed they were going to take, and give me 5 great follow-up questions for next time we meet. Right. And like whatever it is, and like let it do so much of the heavy lifting, and let it act kind of as your memory and prompting. So, and I think the key with this is, like you just said, instead of taking 45 minutes to get ready, maybe it took me 10 or 15. Like I still had to get ready. I still had to review it. But instead of 45 minutes, it's like, oh, that took 5 or 10 minutes. And it's really great.
Yeah. All right. What you got? What's your next one?
Man, I think there's so many things you can do, but one of the other things, like doing planning and research. Like, so for instance, the other day I want to take my kids on a trip, and I'm like, hey, here's the ages, here's where we're thinking about going. Plan out a phenomenal 3-day trip. Here's some of the things they'd like to do. Give us some, and like it came back with this amazing list of like, hey, here's when I would go. Here's what I would do on the way down. Here's what I would do when I get there. Make an agenda. Give me a ideal budget for the whole thing, right? So like that's cool on the personal side. But then on the, like with agents, I would say, hey, I've got clients that are coming into town from Chicago. Like come up with 5 things they should do while they're here. We're looking at houses on Thursday, but they get in on Wednesday and they're not leaving until Saturday. Like let it do so much of the heavy lifting, the thinking for you. And then you go, hey, I just so you know, I came up with a list of 5 things I thought you would love to do while you're here. Right? Like it can be so phenomenally helpful in those things.
Man, that just dawned on me. Yeah, like 5 things, but also like have them fill out a little questionnaire before they come, and then having a itinerary you could send them and go, hey, based on what you like, here's where I would go.
Right, based on the VIP form that you should have every client fill out anyway, which is like favorite food and favorite things to do and all stuff. Dude, that's brilliant. Throw that in there and have them spit out like, hey, I know you love Italian food. Like, here's the best 2 places in the entire, whatever. Yeah,
shit,
huge.
We're onto something. Okay. The other one is, it's going to sound a little easy, but like pricing. And I'm not saying use it to price a house, but I've definitely gone in after I've priced a house, helping an agent price a house. I took the stats, I put it into Perplexity and said, hey, give me a price for this house. Like, what would you think it is? And if the quality is a 5 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and damn if it doesn't come back and give me a range. Or I just said, hey, I've got a 4-bed, 3-bath house in Lake Carolina, this neighborhood, it's vinyl, granite, this, that. And it came back and said, your range should be somewhere between 360, 385. A lot of houses are selling in 59 days. This one should sell closer to 37. Like, it just gives me a synopsis that I can put together, because a lot of people can't interpret data. They're not good at it. So this takes the data and helps you interpret it to a space that you can have a conversation and regurgitate and sound smart to your clients.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the other thing that agents right now need to be using this for, meaning they're having to have more complicated conversations than we've had to have in the past, right? Like, it wasn't that long ago, people were like, let's just waive everything and give them an extra $100,000 to see if we get the house. right? Like, that wasn't that long ago. And now it's like, ooh, the fridge is a little, I don't know, right? Like it's like these tiny things. But here's what I'm using ChatGPT for in my some of the things, and even in my writing. So like I'm getting ready to do this presentation next week, and there was one concept that I felt like I couldn't make it simple enough, right? Like I understood it, but I was having a hard time like getting it out. And I was like, hey, here's my thoughts. Could you simplify it? How would you simplify this and explain it to this audience? And what it came back with was beautiful. Could I have got there? Probably in 3 days, right? But it gave me things I could go tweak. So like, hey, here's the interest rates, here's this, here's their debt, here's the thing, like lay out the scenario. And then it's like, how would you help these people understand the opportunity? How would you explain this? What's a good analogy? Give me 5 analogies for why it's great to buy at this in this scenario, right? Like let it do a lot of that thinking and processing. And like you said, Brad, if you got their personality, you put like, hey, I'm trying to explain this thing to this type of person. Give me 5 different ways to do it. And if 2 of them are crap, who cares? Go with the 1 or 2 that work with you and tweak those. So
yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. More tangible with like listings. Obviously, we talked about descriptions, right? If you're not using it to help write descriptions, then you're already behind the bus. But what I would do is I would use it to help write descriptions with keywords. So again, I use Lake Carolina, got a listing in Lake Carolina. What type of buyer, what are buyers looking for that are buying in Lake Carolina? And what keywords do I need to make sure I use in the description?
Yes.
Because a lot of us forget that our description goes on the internet, and things that go on the internet have SEO, and SEO are what might bring your listing up. When people type in Lake Carolina, it might bring up your Zillow link because that's the listing, but it's going to help people find your property. So I think making sure you hit the highlights and the highlights of the house. I've done that too.
Yeah.
Hey, the highlights is like, hey, it's newer, it's fresh. And so it's letting me know to mash that up. And so it's let me take our descriptions a whole lot deeper and a lot more, I guess, targeted is the way I would put it.
Yeah, well, and that's the great thing about creating those custom GPTs, because you can go in there and go, hey, here's past descriptions that I've written. Make sure everything is in alignment with fair housing, and also like get rid of these 38 stupid buzzwords like natural light or boasting, whatever. Like,
hey, boasting is my go-to, asshole. All right.
There you go. You must have created ChatGPT, because I think that is its go-to word. Right, but like you can, and I don't have to input that every time if I've created that custom GPT, which just saves you a bunch of time. You know, the other thing that Go research is like, hey, and this is something you and I preach all the time, but like change your marketing and your messaging, meaning what are buyers asking right now? What are sellers asking right now? What are the things they're asking? What are the problems they're having? And write me 5 scripts about each one of the top 5 questions buyers are asking, and go make those videos, right? Tweak and make in your own voice, but go do those.
Yeah. All right. So moving off a little bit of sales, but more to like ownership, leadership kind of stuff. One of the things I do a lot now is I went in and said, hey, give me 52. So that's 1 a week, Wayne. So down here in the United States, we have 52 weeks. So with that being said, carry the 2. I said, give me 52 trainings that a new agent should know about a house. And so it gives me a bunch of them, like HVACs, the difference between a heat pump and all this. And then I take each one and say, give me 10 topics 10 slides per topic for a slideshow per presentation. And so now what it does is it goes HVAC, the different types, what you should know, how to identify. And I can go in and tweak it. And then I send it to my marketing person who makes it into a slide deck, and there are my trainings. So now when you feel like you don't have anything to train on, or you feel like you have nothing to say, guess what? You can help it prompt you to kind of get the juices going and pick the ones that make sense to you. Absolutely. And you've got trainings for date, and it's built out. If you don't like it, just don't choose that one. So I think that's a big help. Big help.
You know, another thing, just going back to marketing real quick, one of the things that my clients are using it for, I find like when you're marketing to your database, there's only kind of 3 different things I recommend sending out, but one of them is events. And I find that is a great thing to send out to your database, especially if you're a local realtor. Like, hey, here's the 10 events that are happening in McKinney, Texas in July. Like, people eat that up. But guess what? That is freaking 84 hours of research, right? Like, if I got to go find the event and find the link, and is it kid friendly, and when does it start, and all stuff, right? Like, let ChatGPT do all of that and give you like, hey, here's the 10 events. Here's the price, location, and then go, cool. Now make it into my version, because you know how I like my newsletters, like making it that. So just another marketing one that can be really helpful.
Yeah. So one I did today. So I've got an agent that's newer to the business, has some different personality traits that may not be like, they're not overly outgoing, all this stuff. So I'm like, help me help somebody with these personality traits, this profile, this assessment, to find business that suits their personality, right? So I know it sounds really kind of a weird prompt, but you know, let's say they're an introvert, they like relationships, but they're not outgoing. They do this, they like this, they live here. And so it comes up with like, hey, they should try to check out these events local to their house. Hey, instead of cold calling, because that's not going to be their thing, maybe they need to do open houses where it's a little bit warmer, you know, things like that, that give you some ideas as a leader to kind of plug and play and give them ideas. Cause nothing's worse than sitting here going, I don't know what the hell to tell you. Like, yeah, you got to do it, but like, I don't know what the hell to tell. I'm not like you. I'm totally different than you. So I don't know how you would get business. So that's been helpful to kind of spur the brain too.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that it helps you with so many different jumping off. And like you said, there's so often team leaders like, man, I don't know what to talk about. Like, go in and go, hey, give me a list of 100 things, and then narrow it down to the 12 you actually want to go speak to. Like, let it do so much of the heavy lifting for you is really powerful.
All right, last one for me because I'm out after this one. I mean, everybody knows Canva. That's easy. But the remove feature in Canva for photos, I didn't realize how super easy that was. Like we're a college town, and sometimes we have some rentals with college kids that have some things on the walls that are offensive, and we can't put them out on the interwebs, right? And maybe not offensive, but just innuendos, pictures. So we can go in there and delete. And now we tell the agents like, hey, offensive stuff inside. So we're not bamboozling anybody, but you can easily just grab a flag off the wall and delete. It's gone. Blue skies. I mean, I love Box Brownie and they do great work. So if you ever need that stuff, but now you can virtually stage, you can actually change the skies out and not make it look bad within the click of a button. So the front on photos with AI is coming a long, long way.
Man, so good. So good.
All right. Well, I think we're AI'd out. So everybody watching this, you're going to need to vote down in the comments whether you thought Wayne had the better ideas, whether you thought I had the better ideas, or just who looks better.
Mine win for sure, just to be clear.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So if y'all use AI any other way, like drop them in the comments too. We're going to keep updating these things because I think the more we can share these, the better we're going to be together. And do us a favor. If you really like it, hit like and subscribe so I can feel better about myself before I go to sleep at night.